Is CAIE A-Level Maths, Summer 2020, Paper 1, Variant 1, question number 4. In this question, it is given that the graph y equals to f of x, where f of x is equals to 3 upon 2 cos 2x plus 1 upon 2. And we need to state the range of f. We know that in a trigonometric graph, the last constant is our baseline, and the first constant shows our amplitude. We can add this to our graph where our baseline will be somewhat over here, the upper bound somewhat over here, and the lower bound over here. We know that our baseline is 0.5 or 1.2, and our amplitude will be 1.5. So from the baseline to the top, it will be 1.5, and from the baseline to the bottom, it will also be 1.5. We can find the upper bound and the lower bound by writing the baseline and adding 1.5, which will give us 2, and writing 0.5 and subtracting the amplitude, which will give us -1. So we know that the upper bound is 2 and the lower bound is -1. With this, we know that our f of x must lie between 2 and -1. In the second part of the question, it is given that the function g such that g of x is equal to f of x plus k, where k is a positive constant and x-axis is tangent to the curve y equals to g of x. If we look at the equation carefully, we can see that it is plus k at the last, which means that the graph has been translated either upwards or downwards. But since we know that k is a positive constant, it has to be translated upwards. And we also know that the x-axis is a tangent to the after the translation. So the graph has to translate like this. If this is our original graph and it is translated x units upwards, this clearly shows that the x-axis is tangent to the curve. Now this is k because it has been translated k units upwards. Since we know that the baseline for this new graph is 0 and this is -1, this value has to be 1, which also gives us k equals to 1. Since we know that k equals to 1, we have stated the value of k, and we now need to describe the transformation. So we can write this as it has been translated 1 unit upwards, parallel to the y-axis. In the last part of the equation, it says that state the equation of the curve which is the reflection of y equals to f of x in the x-axis, and we need to write it in the form of y equals to a cos 2x plus b. Firstly, we need to copy the original equation. So this will give us f of x equals to 3 upon 2 cos 2x plus 1 upon 2. Since this is a reflection in the x-axis, we need to apply a negative sign over here and a negative sign to whole equation. So this will give us minus f of x equals to minus 3 upon 2 cos 2x minus 1 upon 2, which is the final answer.